Disclaimer: the information shared on this podcast is intended for educational and inspirational purposes only. It is not a substitute for professional advice, diagnosis, or treatment. We are not licensed therapists, counselors, or medical professionals, and the content shared here should not be taken as mental health, medical, legal, or financial advice. Always consult with a qualified professional regarding any mental health, emotional, or personal development issues you may be facing. Listening to this podcast does not create a professional relationship. The views and opinions expressed by the hosts and guests are their own and do not represent any official organizations or affiliations. While we aim to offer support and encouragement, your personal growth journey is your own, and you are responsible for any decisions or actions you take based on the content of this podcast. Listener discretion is advised for sensitive topics. Thank you for joining us, and remember you're not alone on this journey.
Universe of you. Hey Mercies! Guess who's back?
Back again.
Yup, it's us, Dia and Arya, hashtag DNA.
Here to serve personal growth with a side of real talk.
This episode is something that might be a little sensitive to people, but it's very, very necessary. And honestly, for us also to talk about it is a little bit difficult, but we really want to talk about all of that to help our Mercies not repeat and experience the same things that we did.
It takes up a lot of courage to actually show up, like even just for us and for them to listen as well.
True. So this episode actually talks about rejection. Yeah, it's a very, very tough pill to swallow, but it is so important. And one of the biggest thing that people don't understand is that rejection and failure
are two different things.
Yeah, they're not the same thing. And one more thing is, like, rejection is just not somebody saying no. It is in many different aspects. You get rejected in job, you get rejected in, like, through college applications, like even in friendships and relationships, like ghosting, not feeling loved. All of that is a form of rejection, and a lot of the time we don't acknowledge it, and then we're just like, whatever. So we're here to talk about those things, our experiences, how we dealt with it. So here is the chapter breakdown. The first thing we'll be talking about is understanding rejection and how it is different from failure. Rejection in terms of jobs, schools, and careers. Rejection in friendships and relationships. Rejections of life in general, which I believe is some of the most least talked about rejections. And lastly, coping and affirmations. So let us begin. What is rejection and why does it hurt so much?
Rejection is defined as the act of pushing someone or something away. It can manifest in various forms such as denial of love, interest, or approval. So this is the APA definition that we found. So that this is like a standard understanding of rejection.
Yeah. And not only that, the whole reason that rejection hurts so much can be explained by neuroscience. Because when you get rejected, it triggers the same part of the brain as any physical pain would. Okay, which I do not know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but it is the anterior cingulate cortex. And that is basically a collection of interconnected neurons in your frontal cortex, your thalamus, and your amygdala. And all of these play an important role in, emotion regulation, your pain processing, attention, memory, decision making. So that is why being rejected feels very much like physical pain.
And I feel like we all are humans and we are meant to feel everything and anything.
Yeah.
All of us have like a level of sensitivity, and some of us have a little higher level of sensitivity.
True.
So for me, at least in general, if something or someone says no, or again, if I'm rejected, it feels like someone's stabbing me. It feels that bad. Why? Because I just have a higher level of sensitivity. But again, we're all human, we're meant to feel it, and it's good that you're feeling it.
Absolutely.
That makes you human as well.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, what are we? Just living beings?
Yeah, exactly. And again, rejection and failure is not the same thing. Many people confuse them, but it's truly not the same thing. Rejection is when someone else is saying no. Versus failure is like when you yourself feel like you're falling short.
Right. Rejection, I feel like it's always exterior. Okay, it's not something you do from within. And someone rejects you on the basis of like understanding you for just like 2 hours,
Yeah.
a few minutes,
Yeah.
or something like that. And they have a perception about you that, okay, this person's this. But in reality, they don't know about you. They don't know about your strengths, your weaknesses, what's your story, where you come from,
Yeah.
what do you hold. They know nothing about you. All they know is the few words you spoke to them about
Yeah.
in that meeting. Whereas like failure is something I feel like from within, because you set up goals for yourself and you know that this is your strength, this is your weakness, you know it.
Yeah.
And when something like that happens, you feel like, oh shit, I failed.
Yeah.
But it's not like really a failure, it's more like a step forward to your goal.
True,
So you're
true,
not
true.
falling back, you're moving ahead.
Yeah.
It's just the way you perceive this. That's important. So even like rejection by other people, it can be taken in positive way as well. You can
Yeah.
take feedback from them, understand them, and then it's up to you how you take it. Either you build yourself with that feedback, the rejection you got, or either you make your life more worse than
True.
how it was.
True. And one more important thing is, like, as we have said, rejection is somebody else saying no. So here's the thing: why should you be so bothered about not meeting someone else's perception,
Right.
someone else's perspective of you, when that person barely even knows you? Like, hello?
I mean, you are living for yourself. You're doing things for yourself. I really don't get it. I mean, it's a very common thing, but why does other people's opinion bother so much to us?
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like, growing up, at least I have heard that a lot in my house as well, or
True,
everywhere.
true.
That, what will the society think? What will they?
I
they'll
know,
judge you.
right?
But as in when I understood the concept, I grew up, I understood that none of this matters.
True.
The society's work is to just speak nonsense. Why? Because they have no other work in life. You have something to achieve in life and you know what that is, and you know the steps, and you know what you're doing. So I really don't think that it's difficult, but slowly and gradually you will understand that none of other people's opinions really matter into your life.
True, true. That's genuinely so true. With that, we should move into the different kinds of rejections. First, it is in terms of jobs,
Oh
schools,
my
and
God.
careers. And we all know, because like we're all in that age bracket, that situations where we receive rejections from jobs, job application, university application, and reading that we regret to form you email, that's a whole different kind of pain. But here's the deal. Everybody goes through it.
You have to go through it.
Yeah, we all are in the same boat, even though we don't say it out loud. We all experience it. And I will say it out loud for my versies to know that they're not alone. I was rejected from my dream university. I basically was like obsessed with this university for 2 years, like ever since.
My
And like
God.
I heard about this university in like 10th grade. That's when I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna graduate, I have to go to university,
My
blah blah
God.
blah. So like I was so happy and excited, and I found about this university and I saw the campus, like the tour and everything, and I was so like in love with it. Like I have playlists on my YouTube till
My
date about
God.
like that university.
Really, that obsessed.
I was obsessed that university had everything that I wanted. It checked every box that I had, and I really, really wanted to go there. And like obviously I wasn't stuck on only one. I had other universities as well, and I applied to all of them. But the fact that, and I got accepted in all other than this one, other than my dream university, and my other university acceptance letters came before, and then this one came later on. Okay, and I was happy when I got accepted from the other universities, but just seeing the rejection from my dream university, that broke me. That hurt so bad that all of the other acceptance letters did not matter as much. I think I put too much emphasis on
there
this.
was a lot of value
Yeah.
that this university held for you. The acceptance letter had a lot of worth in your life.
Yeah.
But
And-
again, if you have expectations, you need to be ready to face either the acceptance or the rejection of that.
True.
So, like, if you're having any sort of expectations in any area of your life, you have to be ready to face it, either
True.
to be accepted or to be rejected. And yes, life will go on like that.
Honestly, yeah, but it did feel very bad. And the worst thing that happened is that after I got the rejection letter from there, I stopped trying.
Okay.
Which is very bad. And then here's the thing, I had acceptance letters from other universities and I had like really good scholarships to study abroad.
Glad.
So I would have done really well if I had tried, but I gave up so bad that I did not even try. Like this university choice, I was like, yeah, dad, you can do whatever you want. Like I am done. And there was to a point that when I was in front of the recruitment and I was here in person in this university and they were concerned.
Oh my
They were
God.
asking like, oh, are you okay? I was that distorted. But I think how I was able to cope with it is that, I detached myself because I was like really attaching so much worth to it, as you said. So when I, removed that and
The
I was like,
value.
yeah, I was like, okay, those people just like saw 2 paragraphs that I had crafted, and then these people saw me in like literally my worst state and still chose to accept me. And then the other universities also accepted me even though I'd sent the same paragraphs around. It's not a reflection of me simply, it's simply just them. So that is how I was able to like get over it, and I'm so glad that I came here even though initially this was not my plan. I'm so glad that I came here and I met you.
I'm so happy too. Like
Yeah.
it's almost gonna be a proper year ago when we met.
It's gonna be 2 years ago.
It's gonna be 2 years.
It's gonna be 2 years ago.
Time flew that fast.
Yeah, 2023 September we met. This is 2025
Oh my
September that's coming.
God. Okay, I lost track of time.
Oh my gosh.
Shit, I didn't realize it's been that long. That's what, with good people, you don't realize
Yeah.
how, even like not with people, with good things happening in life.
True.
Time goes by like
Very
you
fast.
snap, it
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah.
But with bad times or with times when you feel rejected, like for your case, even you were clapping, the time wasn't going.
True.
It wasn't,
true.
but that's how life is, I mean, I've been doing too much life today.
It's about life. Like, come on.
Yes,
Yeah.
but like for me, the case was a little different. University, I didn't have anything much planned because I was very emotional that I graduated. Shit, I'm growing up, and I was just understanding that fact. And then I processed it. Okay, I'm thrown into a university, and I chose this, and I'm happy with what my decision is. But in terms of jobs and internships, then that is when I was like facing or like I was getting slaps. That's the time when I was like, okay, shit, I was a little unprepared for this sort of rejection. Okay, so you're fresh into university, you really are not aware of how life is gonna be, how things are gonna be, and you start applying for internships just because everyone else is also doing it.
Like in pure pressure.
A lot comes from peer pressure, but for me it was from within because I really wanted to do something. I did something back then in school as well, but again, I didn't apply. It was my teachers who were applying on my behalf. So I never, faced that situation where I'm typing down an email, like a follow-up or like even like introducing myself or talking to them before anyone else does for me. So when I was into university, I drafted my first email saying that, hey, I'm interested for this is my CV, this is this and that. Casual email. And with the very first time, they were like, we are sorry, but you have no experience in this industry. And I was like, okay, I get that.
Oh my god, I would be so hurt.
And okay, true, I don't have any experience, and that is the reason I'm coming to you.
Yeah,
to
like,
get
hello?
experience. Like, I just graduated from high school. What do you expect me to have, like a
I know, it's like
5-year-old, I'm saying 5 years of an experience in studying? What do you want me to do?
I swear.
So it was really difficult, and I kept on trying. So it's not like I gave up. And I
Very
won't
proud of
lie,
you.
there have been more than 100 emails I would say I would send in monthly. 'Cause
Wow.
I was just trying to understand where am I going wrong?
Yeah.
What's going on in my life? Like, it can't be like everyone's rejecting me.
Yeah.
There's no possibility like that.
Yeah.
But then I understood that if I don't fit into their place or the like the HR in general has like a spot, okay, this person has to fit into this position. So they have like a set of rules or some sort of perception about this person has to be like this, look like this, have this and that.
Like this, wow. I swear, certain jobs do have like a particular appearance requirement.
They do. So so they have like if you don't fit into their
Mold.
if you don't fit into that mold they have built, you feel stressed, you feel
Yeah.
depressed, you feel frustrated that okay, I'm not belonging anywhere. Then where do I belong? That was my case too. I was
You
like,
belong with me.
true that, but I need some job.
True.
So yes, back then it was really difficult, and I slowly understood that okay, feedback is what I wanted from them. So then
Yeah.
I started approaching them in a different manner, and then I took their feedback seriously.
Yeah.
And I told them to critically analyze my CV or the way
Yeah.
I'm interviewing or like I'm speaking to them, things that they think are
help you improve.
are like things that require improvements, as you said. So then I understood, okay, that maybe it was just me not taking the feedbacks in the right way.
Yeah.
I was thinking that okay, shit, I'm not fitting in here, and I was just depressed. But no, you have to work hard. That's one thing I can say. Even like
Yeah.
for example, for my driving, I'll give a very good example. When I was doing my parking test, it was back to back 2 fails in the internal exam, and I was like, how can I not park a simple small car? That's the easiest thing in the world to do.
Many people say it's difficult.
Parking is one of the most difficult things I feel, especially in Dubai because they're so strict with it. But yeah, my instructor was so good. He always kept on motivating me that you can do it. You just focus. And all I actually required was focus, because when I sat in that car, there were so many things going on in my head. I was being so negative about it that shit, okay, I can't do it. Maybe I'll mess up. Okay,
You're
turn this time.
overwhelmed.
Yeah, there was so many emotions at that point of time when you're in that car. But then when I was like, calm down. Remember what your instructor said. Remember what you said to yourself. Focus. Take their feedback. Understand it. And then I did it in the first try. I got it.
I'm so proud of you.
And that is when I was like, okay, it is not that difficult. I just need to understand it and build myself off it.
Yeah.
Not make my situation worse, because I needed that license. I was like, I'm not here to stay here for an entire year, struggling with that. Even with jobs, I took certain things very seriously. I started observing things, people around me. And one of the biggest things I really want to talk about this, a lot of people see someone who's like, a little better than them. Or for example, let's just take one of our classmates. This is just an example, by the way. I'm just making this up right now. So for example, one of our classmates is like same age as us, but doing something really good in life. They have like a stable internship. They are enjoying their life. They're doing everything you want to do.
Yeah.
And what will a normal person do? They'll think they are competition, right?
No, you look up to them. You ask them like, hey, advise me how to get there. Like, your journey is so inspiring. I would love to know how you did it.
I feel like a few of us think, but this is just again an opinion. What I think is a majority of us take it as a competition.
True, they do. People do.
I won't lie, even I did back then when I was like, continuously facing rejections. I was like, okay, how are they getting it, but not me? But rather taking them as a competition, take them as like your friend,
Mentors,
your
yeah.
mentor, talk
Yeah.
to them, observe them, look at how they're doing. Just looking and observing also can change so many things. So yeah, again, I was observing a lot, and then back then I tried, and I finally got into something, and I was happy with it. I was genuinely happy because after a lot of rejections,
Yeah,
when
you finally get something. Yes.
the happiness is just like triple the amount. Again, so yeah, you need to always have those observation skills ready, and always like don't take the rejection the way I did or you did.
Yeah.
We broke down,
Yeah.
We were like, we can't do it. Rather, we realized a little later that we need to think and take this
In a
as
positive
way.
Yeah, in a feedback manner.
Yeah, and everything and anything is possible in life with
True.
that. Is possible. So to speak.
True. Yeah, honestly, I think I faced rejection in this terms very early on. As in, like, so I was very competitive back in school since like elementary school. So I was in a lot of competition and things like that. And some might win, some might lose. So that losing is also a form of rejection, right?
It is.
So that from there is when my teachers engraved in me from a very, very young age to take these kind of losses as like a feedback opportunity or learning opportunities.
Okay.
So later on when I was, so this happened like a lot in like younger age, like 4th grade, 5th grade, so very young.
That's way too young.
Yes, a way too young. So then later on when I was like 8th grade, high school or things like that, and instantly like if I didn't win or anything, or even if I did win, I would go up to the judges myself and be like, hi, how can I improve?
That I think we do it right now, being university
Yeah.
students, or anywhere, everywhere we go, we take feedbacks.
True.
Even for assignments, I feel like
Yeah,
I've always
absolutely,
done that.
absolutely.
I've gone to my professor after class and I've like, can you please help me improve this? Even though after the grades are released,
Yes.
just for a mutual understanding of where can I improve in life.
Yeah.
Because all you need is you improving in life.
True, true, true.
This will help you, maybe not now, but like later
Later.
in life.
Moving on to rejections in relationships and friendships. Now, over in like relationships with work, uni, it's a direct rejection. It's a direct no. But when it comes to friendships and relationships, it's not that direct. It's little like you're being ghosted. Your friend group broke. The other person is not reciprocating feelings. All of these feel like rejection, and sometimes these smaller non-direct rejections feel a lot more painful than those direct professional rejections.
Where they state it. We regret to inform you this. I feel like we face a lot of relationship or any sort of relationship, be it friendship or anything else, especially when you enter into uni, is when you are like fresh. A lot of people don't have their friends coming in the same university, so you are bound to make new friends. And when you make new friends, everyone comes in from different cultures, different backgrounds. They have a different way of
thinking.
A person as a friend, or like they have standards. Everyone does. And when someone matches, someone doesn't matches, you're new to friendship, and then you face rejection. That hits,
Yeah, it does.
It hits like you're a freshly you're stepping into uni, and then someone just talks to you super rudely and like. Or
just don't want to be your friend. It affects.
You think they were your friend, but in reality they never considered you as anything, and then when that hits you, it hits.
It hits. Oh god.
It hits.
Yeah.
But it's bad.
I mean, honestly, I can't say that much in like this part of rejection, especially like the romantic kind, because I've never been rejected, and I'm usually the one doing the rejecting
Guys,
part.
be careful, okay?
Okay, wait. There was, oh god.
What do we have?
There was this one time though
Okay.
that I was rejected, and it was so embarrassing.
Shit, we wanna know. We wanna know.
Okay, I'm gonna say it just for the sake of Versi. So Versies, don't do it. But hey, that's a version of me that's never ever coming back. Okay, we will not open that box again after this. But basically, I was in love with somebody for like 3 years.
3 years.
3 years.
Were you doing like a degree?
What the hell, girl? No. But yeah, I was really, really in love with him. But I did not even confess to him. I did not even tell him.
What were you doing in life?
I don't know. I was just in love with him. I did not tell him. Okay. But I think that really taught me what loving is, what the definition of love is, and it gave me my own perception of love that I still carry with me till date into
That's so cute.
wherever I go. And it translates into like me loving my work, me loving universe, me loving my friends. It gave me like a ground base, which I'm very grateful for. But yeah, after like 3 years, I did.
After your graduation?
Oh god, yeah, graduation day, I told him. Graduation day, I told him that I liked him. And then, and the thing is, he was not rude or anything about it. He was very polite and respectful, but obviously, he clearly said, like, yeah, I don't reciprocate the feelings. And
I
then,
don't have the same for you.
yeah, which is very valid. Everybody's
Obviously,
entitled to their own opinions. So, and then very respectfully, we didn't continue talking because I knew that was gonna get into a very bad direction. Then we cut off contact for a while, and that helped a lot because I think within 3-4 months I was over him. Yeah, like I was in love with him for like 3 years, and then like
3
he says,
months is all you took?
yeah, he says no, and then 3 months I'm over him.
No, but I think one really good thing you did is like cut contact off,
Yeah.
or like you changed environments because it's really required.
Yeah,
to-
exactly.
You need to change your mood. You need to get out of the situation, change your environment so that you have like a fresh mind. To
It's
think
like
more.
removed yourself from the
Yeah.
rejection situation,
Yeah, like-
and that helped you get better.
There's no point if you stay in that situation and like everything around you is just so bad, so negative,
Yeah.
making you feel so low. Rather get out of it, do something you like.
Exactly.
Change your mood.
I changed the whole person. Like, I was like, that girl is never coming back, okay? Like, me in love with one guy who does not reciprocate. Hello? That was pathetic. Never going back there. No.
Right. But
Yeah.
then again, you made enough efforts, you know?
Yeah.
And this even works for friendships, especially low maintenance friendships.
Yes.
I have like a few school friends who have been with me since like my entire childhood and like even in my classes.
Mm-hmm.
We now have like that kind of low maintenance friendship
Mm-hmm.
because obviously we are grown up, we're into our own worlds.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, like a random, hi, what's up, let's catch up for tea or like
Yeah.
coffee, let's just go hang out,
Yeah.
also changes the mood.
True.
So
Yeah.
efforts are equally important, I feel,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
in both, in just relationships, be it friendships, romantic relationships, or
Yeah.
any kind of relationships.
Yeah, I think when it comes to rejection in this, I think the most important thing is to know that you have to set boundaries. Like as I did, we cut contacts. And the other thing is that just because you get rejected by friends or a partner or somebody does not mean that you're unlovable.
Yeah.
You're just asking the wrong people. Yeah.
I've heard this so much. So
That's my
much.
life motto now. Instead, what you could do is like, turn it into self-love. That always helps.
Always.
Yeah.
Always. Another strategy for coping rejection is self-love.
Yeah.
Continue with your self-love practices.
Yeah.
Do something you like, maybe like a hobby or something like you really love, or like catch up with a friend, gossip with
Yeah.
them. Changes
Yeah.
the entire mood.
I just saw like this show, so it's a Pakistani drama.
Okay.
And in that drama, so the main protagonist, the female protagonist, she fails a test.
Okay.
And I'm so proud of what she did. She celebrated her failure. She went
Oh,
to a
yeah, she
cafe.
went to- and she
yeah,
cut a
she
cake.
cut a cake and she sang "Happy Failure" to me. It was so nice.
I remember.
I loved that. I loved that.
Yeah, we have to celebrate
Yeah.
our lows so
Like,
that
she's
we
the
reach
goal.
to the
She's
high.
inspiration.
That was I didn't just see the drama, but I saw the reel and
Yeah.
on Instagram. It was quite
Yeah.
trending. That's when I was like, okay,
Yeah.
this is how we should actually take
Yeah,
rejection or
I know
failure
it.
in life.
I know
Celebrate it and then be happy about it and then come out of it.
Yeah, true. Yeah. And again, if some person does not love you, let them go. Somebody else will come who will love you so effortlessly and so
You
naturally.
just have high standards. in
Yeah.
life. Just accept that fact.
Yeah, exactly. Coming to one of the parts that least talked about in terms of rejection is life subtle
Subtle
rejections. Yes. Sometimes it's not just like a direct no, or even in terms of friendship and all. It's just you feel rejected by life in general, you don't fit in. Everything's just falling apart, nothing makes sense. Or you just feel overwhelmed. So that also in terms of, it kind of feels like a rejection,
It does.
Yeah.
Anything or everything that makes you feel bad, people perceive it as a rejection. Or things don't go your way, rejection.
Kind of, yeah.
That's the most basic way, you can explain it.
Yeah. And I feel like that happens more so now or more amongst our age group people is
It
because
does.
of comparison spiral.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. That bad circle.
Yeah. Because it's like, you see everybody posting all of their highlights on social media, okay?
Social media.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
one bug in life.
Exactly. And here's the thing, you see people on their social media posting reels, posting things like that, and you compare yourself like, oh, they have everything. Why don't I? And you feel so rejected and done with life. But here's the thing that we need to understand. Whatever they're posting is just the
One
glorified,
side of the coin.
glorified, highlighted parts of their life. You don't know
The other
what
side
their
of the
struggles are. Yeah, they don't post their struggles. Nobody will. Even we don't.
But how social media is one of the most powerful platforms. It can literally change you. It can, because
Yeah.
again, if you're, there are two sides of it. It depends on how you take it.
Yeah.
So social media can also motivate you. It can change you in a good way.
Yeah.
And then there's this bad side of comparison. and then,
True.
Again, you feel compared. You feel low in life. You
Yeah.
feel like you're a smaller person compared to them. But
That's not
you
true.
never know anyone's
Yeah.
full story. I mean, everyone has a whole lot of a big book about
Yeah,
them.
exactly.
You just read one page and you can't just judge them or compare
True.
to them or do anything to them.
Yeah, exactly. And one more thing, it's like, when all of these like micro rejection that we talked about above, or even the direct ones, if you like let them pile up and then you don't process them, you're bound to feel rejected by life in general at some point. And even after that, if you don't agree to process and just like let it sit there like you're brewing some tea or something, you will explode. That tea will overflow at some point in your life. All the rejections, honestly, in my life have redirected me to where I'm supposed to be, and now I'm more happier than ever. All the rejection from friends, partners, all of that have led me to such wonderful people, have led me to Dia. I'm so grateful for all of that. I see all my rejections as just blessings at this point.
You actually should consider rejections as blessings, because they lead you to somewhere much better. And the fact that everyone should just accept it. Okay?
Yeah.
Feel it. You're human. Accept it, feel it, understand it, and then move ahead as well. Don't get stuck on that.
Yeah. And that brings us to the last part of today's episode, coping and affirmations. We gave multiple coping mechanisms
Throughout
above.
the episode.
Yeah. We're just recapping them and maybe giving you a little pep talk. So, firstly, rejections is not personal. It is painful, yes, but it is not a reflection of you. It is simply somebody else's perception. Yes, absolutely. And as Dia mentioned earlier as well, change your environment. That helps a lot. That helps a lot. Yeah, and just know that you are so worthy. A rejection does not define you. You are enough. The whole fact that you're alive today, that God has put you in the situation that you are here, is enough proof to know that you are worth living, that you're worth it, that you're worth being around. And remind yourself that you are wanted, you are needed, you are valuable.
You need to take your rejection as an opportunity as well, that you should be grateful that you got the opportunity to present yourself to someone, get rejected, and understand yourself, and then go ahead.
And learn.
You learn, you explore new opportunities because of that.
Yeah.
And there's another thing I want to mention, that we should never be rude to people, who rejected us.
Yeah.
Because it's not their fault either. They come up from a different culture, different background. This is how they perceive it. Our perceptions may not match.
True.
So, you can't be rude to them. You can just be kind to them.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's what makes you human.
Yeah. And if you ever need additional help when it comes to, a little motivation,
And a pep talk.
you can always reach out to us. And also we have affirmations on our Instagram. So please do check that out whenever you need.
Yes, we're doing daily affirmations on our stories, and they're also available on our highlights. And I was thinking that, Arya, let's do something today. Today afternoon, we'll put up a story with a question box wherein our worstees can put in their self-love notes.
Oh yeah, that's like such a nice idea. And then like everybody can read each other's one, and then they can motivate each other. Yeah, that's
We're
gonna be
gonna put in
wonderful.
ours as well, and this is gonna be so much fun and so much interaction, and you can explore new ways of self-love. This is so much fun. I need all of you to literally participate in this. Just wait for a few hours. We're gonna come up with a story and post it right now.
Yes, let's go. And that is it for today.
Keep glowing,
And keep growing,
and don't forget, life's a journey.
not a race.
See you next week.
We've got your back.